Call to order the Monday, July 6, 2026 City Council meeting with a record of attendance, please.
Bizzle.
Here.
Drake.
Here.
Robinson.
Here.
Teach Out.
Here.
Turnbow.
Here. I will start off with opening prayer by Tom Robinson and Pledge of Allegiance by Matt Drake.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, we thank you for your many blessings. We thank you for the opportunity to care for the world you have made. We ask that your blessing would rest on this council, that you would give us great vision and enthusiasm for our work. Please bless the efforts of our hands, the bonds between us, and the influence of our work in this community. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. I see a nice crowd out tonight. It's good. First order of business is the approval of the City Council minutes from June 1st and June 8th. And we also to approve the Board of Adjustments minutes from May 11th.
Motion to approve.
Go.
Second.
Motion made and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. First item is the second reading and consideration of Bill 6402 to readopt ethics ordinance. The chair will accept a motion for the second reading.
So moved. Second.
Motion made and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Second reading, Tabitha, please.
Bill number 6402, as adopted, shall become ordinance number 6402, establishing a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain municipal officials. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Sikeston, Missouri as follows. This bill includes sections 1 through 5, all of its parts and subparts, and it's read and introduced this second time, the 6th day of July, 2026.
Amanda, you have the floor.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Bill number 6402 is the ordinance that establishes the city's local procedures for handling conflicts of interest. Missouri state law requires that cities and local municipalities repass this on a biannual basis.
Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, the chair will accept a motion.
Make a motion to approve Bill 6402.
I second.
Roll call vote. David, please.
Drake.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Teach Out.
Yes.
Turnbow.
Yes.
Bizzle.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you. The next item is second reading and consideration of Bill 6403, authorization to rezone the replat of Lynn Street. The chair would accept a motion for the second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Second reading, Tabitha, please.
Bill number 6403, as approved, shall become ordinance number 6403, providing for the rezoning from C3 Highway Commercial to R2 Single Family Residential Zone of Lynn Street Place, Scott County, Missouri. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Sikeston, Missouri as follows. This bill includes sections 1 through 7, all of their parts and subparts, and it's read and introduced the second time, the 6th day of July, 2026.
Mr. Blevins, you have the floor.
Thank you. Good evening, council.
Good evening.
Yes, this is for approval for Lynn Street Place. This was to replant an already approved subdivision approved there. The owner recently come back and asked to redo how they wanted to build upon those lots. And they have been approved by P&Z, so we are seeking council's approval to move forward with this rezoning.
Are there any questions or comments? Yes.
So they are rezoning a section of what would be called Lynn Place. It is actually located where Danny's Place, if you know where Danny's Place was on Lynn, that was bought by a subcontractor who is actually going to put a new subdivision up in there, and they actually brought it. No, not a police station. They're actually going to build some residential homes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So they've asked for that to be rezoned so they can build. I think they're going to build 20+ homes up there. Yep, no problem, man.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, the chair will accept a motion.
Make a motion, we approve bill number 6404.
Need a second?
That's,
Is it the
that's
right number?
6403.
Oh, sorry, 6403.
Second.
Motion made and second. Roll call vote. David, please.
Robinson.
Yes.
Teach Out.
Yes.
Turnbow.
Yes.
Bizzle.
Yes.
Drake.
Yes.
Thank you. The next item is second reading and consideration of Bill 6404, replat proposed Lynn Street Place subdivision. Chair will accept a motion for the second reading.
I move for the second reading.
Second.
Motion made and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Second reading, Tabitha.
Bill number 6404, as approved, shall become ordinance number 6404, providing for the approval to replat proposed Lynn Street Place in the city of Sikeston, Scott County, Missouri. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Sikeston, Missouri as follows. This bill includes sections 1 through 7, all of their parts and subparts, and it's read and discussed the second time, the 6th day of July, 2020.
Blevins, you still have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, this is just the other part of the request to change what the zoning would be. It will be going from C3 highway commercial to R2 single family. And this was approved on the May 11th Board of Adjustments, and then also went through planning and zoning on the 10th. So we are seeking council's approval to move forward.
Are there any questions or comments? Seeing it? No, go ahead.
And I'll take a motion, or does somebody have a question? Otherwise, I make a motion that we accept bill 6404.
Second.
Motion made and second. Roll call vote, please.
Teach Out.
Yes.
Turnbow.
Yes.
Bizzle.
Yes.
Drake.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Excuse me.
The next item is second reading and consideration of Bill 6405, rezone 503 Ruth Street from a single family to highway commercial. The chair would accept a motion for the second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Tabitha, second reading, please.
Bill number 6405, as approved, shall become ordinance number 6405, providing for the rezoning from R2 Single Family Residential to C3 Highway Commercial Zone of Lynn Street Place, Scott County, Missouri. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Sikeston, Missouri as follows. This bill includes sections 1 through 7, all of its parts and subparts, and it's read and discussed and introduced the 6th day of July, 2026.
Mr. Blevins, you still have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. So this is actually to rezone R2 to C3 for Mission, Missouri. They have one spot of one parcel connected to their current property that is not C3, and they would like to have it rezoned to build something there in the future that would, the C3 zone would help them to get that done. So this was approved through planning and zoning on the 10th of June, and we're seeking council's approval for that to move forward tonight.
Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, chair would accept motion.
I make a motion, we accept bill number 405.
Second.
Motion made and second. Roll call vote, please.
Turnbow.
Yes.
Bizzle.
Yes.
Drake.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Teach Out.
Yes.
The next item is the first and second reading of Emergency Bill 6406, amending Chapter 405, Section 405.920, Tables, Use, Height, and Area Regulations. Chair would accept the motion for the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? First reading, Tabitha, please.
Bill number 6406, an emergency ordinance of which upon approval shall become ordinance number 6406 and shall amend Title IV Land Use, Chapter 405 Zoning Regulation, Municipal Code of the City of Sikeston, Missouri. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Sikeston, Missouri as follows. This bill includes sections 1 through 6, all of its parts and subparts, and it's read and introduced this first time, the 6th day of July, 2026.
Mr. Blevins, you still have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. So what this is to change underneath the zoning districts. Under downtown DT, there is some places in downtown that still have some automobile service repair stations, or old buildings that used to be used for that. Previous councils had removed that from the ordinance to be able to get what we could call a conditional use, to be able to allow that business to be established there. This ordinance would allow the CU conditional use to go back underneath the downtown transitional for automobile service stations and automobile repair and minor conjunctions of a service station. So basically putting this back on the books, if somebody wanted to have a repair business in one of these buildings, they could actually seek to have it downtown.
Any questions or comments?
What is the emergency?
The emergency is we have been asked to have a business approved down there, and the only way they can get it approved is if council approves this, they will then apply to the planning and zoning board the conditional use variance, which would come back to council. Because this is the first of the month, it would wait till the end of the month, and then we would actually miss the August deadline for the planning and zoning, so we would actually push it into September, which would actually push them possibly getting a business established till around the end of the year, possibly.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you. Chair will accept a motion for the second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made in second for the second reading. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Second reading, Tabitha, please.
Bill number 6406, an emergency ordinance of which upon approval shall become ordinance number 6406 and shall amend Title IV Land Use, Chapter 405, zoning regulation in the municipal code of the city of Sikeston, Missouri. Be ordained by the City Council of the City of Sikeston, Missouri as follows. This bill includes sections 1 through 6, all of its parts and subparts, and it's read the second time the 6th day of July, 2026.
Barry, you have the floor again.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So once again, council, as I stated before, this would actually just give the use back to the citizens to be able to choose if they should want to come to planning and zoning to get a conditional use to put this business back in downtown. So, but it needs council's approval to get back into our ordinance.
Any questions or comments? Chair would accept a motion.
I make a motion to approve Bill 6406.
Second.
Motion made in second. Roll call vote. David, please.
Bizzle. Abstain. Drake.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Teach out.
Yes.
Turnbow.
Yes. We do have one walk-on item that is, give me a second, let me get it. It is request to award state vendor patrol vehicle. And Captain Ryan Smith, you have the floor.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right, the Department of Public Safety is requesting to purchase 3 Dodge Durangos from Landmark Dodge at the price of $130,616 and use the remaining budgeted dollars to outfit with necessary equipment. The funds for the car and the equipment needed to outfit them were included in the FY27 budget for DPS. The cars will be assigned to the admin fleet. Those vehicles that are replaced are going to be reassigned or surplus due to age and repair costs to maintain reliability. So we're just seeking approval to proceed with that budgeted purchase.
Anybody have any questions or comments? Seeing none, the chair will accept the motion.
Make a motion, we approve the purchase of the 3 Dodge Durangos.
Second.
Motion made in second. Roll call vote, please.
Drake.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Teach out.
Yes.
Turnbow.
Yes.
Bizzle. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now that we're in this session where public comments or questions or comments are allowed, mind if you do want to make a public comment, David, do you have a piece of paper up there?
Yes. Yes. There's some.
Please sign please print your name, and you have 3 minutes to comment on anything you would like. So please step to the podium if you would like.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm coming to talk to you all on the behalf of the Lord Gilmore's family and our community. We've been patiently waiting and wondering why the police who were involved in the incident with Mr. Gilmore on June 10, 2026, are still active in duty within the community. We, the community of Sikeston, are wondering why we have not seen any camera footage from the police station's entrance, the body cams, the dash cameras, and that was on the scene that day, or the footage that were in the booking area when the EMS personnel initially treated Mr. Gilmore. The city of Sikeston, Missouri do not feel safe knowing that these officers are on the loose, allowed to return to work during this investigation. We still haven't received the names of the officers who were involved in the investigation. The officers should be on leave until the investigation is completed. The public has a right to know their names. The public deserves the answer to the question of why they are on leave without pay. Pending the outcome of this highway patrol's investigation, I would also like the record to show that the community, as well as the Gilmore family, would like to see the EMS accounting of Mr. Gilmore's condition upon their arrival. Please understand that this is our community. You should consider our feelings, our safety, and help us get the answers we deserve. Help us get the truth that the family deserves. We also need you to investigate the corruption that is in Sikeston Department of Public Safety. We need you to look into the constant cover-ups orchestrated by the police departments, including the surrounding areas of law enforcement officers. We also would like you to understand who have aided and abetted the Sikeston Department in unlawful actions. We need your help attaining the truth, transparent justice. We need to send a clear message to all those who took an oath to protect and to serve, and that oath to extend to all citizens, not just those deemed to worthy of their protection and services. I'll be coming every time y'all have a meeting to discuss the same matters. Anybody have any questions? Quanisha Grant, for the record, AKA Red, so y'all know.
Thank you.
All right.
Does anyone else have any comments or questions?
Hey, everybody. She actually asked a lot of the questions that I was going to get up here and ask, but I think she kind of mentioned it. Was it the police report in there? Mm-hmm. That was another main thing that, like, it's been almost a month and a police report isn't made. Is that a question that we can get answered now?
On the police report, Chief? Yeah. Yes, please.
So the police report has been made, but the Missouri State Highway Patrol is actually doing the investigation. And so we have turned that on to them so they can do the investigation. We do that because we understand that there is a certain lack of trust with us, and we have done that for a number of years just to have transparency and have another agency have oversight over our investigation.
But isn't it like a right to be able to receive that police report?
The Sunshine Law will allow you to get the initial police report, not in its entirety, but.
And I've been speaking with a journalist, and it still haven't even been released to her.
I think some of them have been released on the.
I've tried. Yeah, who? Yeah. Because like I'm his daughter, and a lot of information that I found out. And that was another thing.
I think that might be some of the problem because some of the stuff on social media is not correct.
Right.
And so
that's what I'm aware of. That's
but
why I'm asking. We
found to be responsible to wait until they finish the investigation before we start putting out information into the public. You know?
Well, even the family members haven't got this information, which is me. Everybody has my number. I spoke directly with the officers the day after all of this happened. Even us, like the close family, hasn't even got a document, a call. I mean, we haven't even, this is my first time speaking with the chief. Mm-hmm. This is my first time speaking with you. Like, it's like, even from the beginning of this, before we even knew he was passed, everything was it's just constant questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when I went to the hospital and asked her about my dad, he's dead now, and I wasn't even able to get any information and was told that she didn't have a father, so she couldn't relate to how I felt. So it's like, even when we go to, like, in this everyday life, seeing it on social media. I mean, plenty of newscasts has been made. I mean, the family didn't even get notified before autopsy reports was notified to the social media that they were done. It's like,
yeah, but we didn't do that. That's not us. That's the Scott County coroner.
So I really don't know, but that's why I'm here asking, because we don't know. All we can do is look at social media. Quickest way that y'all can get any of our attention, which is why anything happens, y'all post it directly on social media or go straight to the news.
Chief, let me answer. I meant to say this. I asked Chief because I didn't know on the police report part, but one, address the council because I understand that there's some wariness, by some of the concerns, some of the thoughts, and some of the questions that were asked, about the police department. And I'll assure you, I mean, whether you trust the police department or not,
Right.
we as a council, we're being as informed as we can be, and
Right.
we're asking for the reports. We don't know either, and we have to. All the information that was gathered by the State Highway Patrol, because as soon as it happened, that's when we said, we're done. The State Patrol comes in and they take over. And once they did that, they have to release to us what we can actually release. But when they do, it's going to be public. Anything that you see on public media or Facebook or anything like that, anything you see on that is not official because it's not coming from either us and or the State Highway Patrol. But as soon as we get it, we promise you'll have it.
Right. That's why the questions are still there, because, I mean, we get that y'all don't have it, but during the meantime, with y'all not having it, we're getting confused by different news flashes. I'm not talking about rumors from people. I'm talking about what's been stated publicly from you guys. Even after, not probably directly from y'all, but news is, all I know is I see the news connected to a different category than we are. So we don't know who's doing it or which newscast it's coming from. It's just out there, you feel me? Without the family being contacted, because I gave my number. He was the officer, sorry to point you out, but that talked to me and my family the day after this happened. These people have our contact numbers. I mean, is there somebody who works with people during this time to keep the family notified so we don't have to get on social media to find it? Because even when the coroner came to the house to let us know that my father had passed away, I mean, we were under the impression of a completely different idea than what we're actually facing right now. So it's even from the very first moment, it was already too much confusion. So it's we get that 100%. I don't feel uncomfortable around police officers because I know that everybody is not a part of this. But at the end of the day, we still need to know something. You know what I'm saying? And even with the police report, there was an anonymous call made, and it was made by me. And it hasn't been mentioned this entire time. I called the police station before my daddy. It was 23 minutes within me being with my dad, me calling the police station for him to come speak to that exact officer. 23 minutes later, he was dead. So I know for sure he didn't have anything on him because everything he owned was left with me. I talked to a police officer on the phone, letting him know my daddy was coming for help, but this call has never been mentioned. Why? Why was this call not mentioned when they told us in the family meeting when I spoke with this man about this call? When he told us that my dad, which should be in the police report, bit his arm and grabbed the door. Why was this call never mentioned?
Mentioned to who?
Mentioned to the family or the public. When we even sat down with the police to be talked about this, he never mentioned the fact that it was so many questions or answers about how did he get in custody? What was he doing in custody? But the thing is that I called the police for my dad. So
but if you made the call, the family should know you're the family.
But I didn't share that information with nobody but lawyers because the police should have told us when we walked in. Why should I have to inform us of a story that y'all already know about?
The issue is when we turn it over to the Highway Patrol.
But before it even made it to the Highway Patrol,
but
I
we knew
called
we were
him.
going to do that.
But the public, y'all stated from y'all that he was acting aggressively. 1 second, let me finish, please. Y'all stated that he was acting a fool. Y'all had to hold him down or whatever else. Y'all got that part out, but y'all forgot to mention why he was even there.
I don't know that Chief has. Chief
never spoke with me. This officer did with a couple other officers that's not in here.
Ms. Gilmore, I think probably some of the issue was that Captain Broom, and one of our chaplains, I believe, came and visited with the family.
No, they didn't come and visit. We came and visited them to the police station.
Sorry, they visited with you, but their priority was to make sure that you were the first ones to know what had happened. So this was very early. So
right.
Captain Broom didn't even have all the information at that point. He wanted to make sure that family
Exactly, but even over this time, it's never been mentioned, not one time, with the community still wondering why. Even none of my peers, I've never even told them. Nobody out here knows this part of it. So it's the phone call is still, the main thing is the phone call happened before the beating, before all of that. So whatever custody it was in, the point is that it was never mentioned, even outside of all of that.
Well, we're aware of the phone call, if that's what you're asking.
But nobody ever mentioned it to us.
But we're not going to do that because the Highway Patrol is doing the
Right, so that
And
means
you're-
that it's certain stuff that y'all know y'all just can't tell us, right?
That's correct.
Exactly, but he just said
Yeah.
that it's certain stuff that y'all just don't know. Y'all know it's just certain things that y'all allowed to tell us. But even when the family went in there and we asked him and we sat down and we asked him why was he being in cuffs, he told us the reason he was being in cuffs was because he bit his arm and he grabbed the door, which is a sign for help, especially with the fact that that phone call was y'all knew about that phone call. I could call y'all right now and y'all gonna know that I called you from this phone at the city hall. So that phone call was still notified whether any other information was found yet or not, because he already stated that he saw some of the body cam footage. He was very honest. He was very helpful. He let us know that it's some stuff that he don't know. He was very honest. Very honest, actually. But it's still the fact that it was not mentioned when I asked you in that same meeting that I have on recording, why was he arrested? They never said, oh, well, an anonymous call was made before he came asking for help, so he ran over there and grabbed the door and bit his arm, because that's what that sounds like, because I'm the one who called and asked for help. So for him to go there and grab that door and bite the arm, everybody know how big and strong he is, because he even described it in the same recording, saying that he's very strong. They also described and recording, they knew his mental illness. So why aren't they taking proper procedure to deal with these people here? Because it was also stated in journalists and stuff, when I seen a couple posts and stuff, where it's facts, where in other countries, people like this with the excited delirium or whatever it is that they claim that they're properly trained for. Why aren't they using those same tools with the people here? Why are these people going through that, especially because he mentally, hold on, so we can keep it in order, because he already said that he mentally hadn't seen illness within him within the past year. So if you know that this person has illness, why make it look like it's anything else? And also, if he's getting abused or anything like that, for him to be in handcuffs, it's been so many different things going on around here back to back where people are surviving. When he was laying on the ground and he was over there 25 minutes, 23 minutes, I have the phone call in my phone where I called the police office and talked to them. 23 minutes later, he was on the ground dead. He didn't have any drugs in him. He was with me all day. He didn't even have time. I watched my dad run to the police station. Yeah. I watched him. So in the meantime, how is that?
Let me. Okay, let's get down to the brass tacks. You're saying that you know all these things,
yes.
and everything that we've got. Before we try to release anything to the public, that's the reason why. You said about the phone call. What good would it do to me to say that there was
a lot good? Because
tell me how it would do any good.
Okay, it would do a lot good because people wouldn't have to wonder why he was in handcuffs. People is wondering, okay, did he go try to fight the police? What did Lloyd do? What really did he do to be back in handcuffs? And even me as his daughter, we were only separated 23 minutes.
That's the reason, ma'am. That's the reason why we're having it investigated by the State Highway Patrol, so that it all comes out.
Right. But this is the thing, with me watching it, I know it was nothing that he did. That's why the question that I'm asking.
But ma'am, you're asking why things are.
Hold on, sir. Because what you're about to say, the police already told us in the meeting that he bit the reason that he was put into custody. This is on a recording. He put it in the meeting that he was arrested and put into police custody because he grabbed the door and bit his arm. He told the family that already. They didn't tell the public that, but he told us out of his mouth that.
Listen, I greatly and I do. I appreciate you coming and talking. I really do. And the position that we're in. To find bits and pieces and try to release this and that.
How much can happen in 23 minutes?
But a lot can happen in 23 minutes.
For him to
hold on, ma'am. Let me answer the question. If I did all these interviews, which I didn't do because the Highway Patrol did that, and I got all those answers, and I put it, would you believe me? Being the chief of these officers.
It's not really about
most people would.
What I'm not trying to do
and
is
I know
make
that.
it. I'm not saying that y'all have to make us believe anything. I'm just saying make sure you include everything so that we can trust.
But ma'am, you're talking about information.
But we have to let the Highway Patrol
everybody
do their investigation first. We can't interrupt their investigation.
Which is
here's the deal. We're trying to make sure that it's done correctly, and we're doing the best that we can, and we're not releasing anything. Anything that you're seeing that's been released, if KFS or something does anything, or anybody else, any other news organization, that we're listening to the Highway Patrol saying we're doing the investigation. Hold on, now hold on.
Waiting,
but here's the deal. The only thing that we're sure of is The reason why they have not released anything back to us is they're making perfectly clear on what happened, and a big part of it is a toxicology report that they're running, and we are trying our best to get the information from them to say, this way, when they present that, they're presenting it to not just us, they're presenting it to everybody. And it's going to include the whole line of events and everything. And also with the Sunshine Law, the videos and everything else will be out there. So what I don't want to get into is, and he said, she said, and what you're seeing on social media. And for us to release your phone call, I mean, I don't know about the phone call, but apparently you made a call. And so if you made a phone call, it doesn't change the tragic thing that happened.
Right.
And until the Highway Patrol comes back to us and says, okay, this is a timeline, here's a video, and this is what happened, we don't know what to tell you.
Yes, sir. And mind you that what I was stating about social media posts and stuff like that, I don't even read them, honestly. I don't go off what the public says. I haven't even been on social media in a while. I just know that it's going on. The questions that I'm asking you is not saying that I don't trust the police, which is what I've already said, but I'm saying it makes it hard I'm only speaking for me as his daughter. I'm not speaking for a community because I haven't even been involved with all that. I'm only speaking for something that I knew myself that was not mentioned to me. So this is the only time that I have to speak outside of the police department, which is the mayor, city hall. So of course I released that information, well, not even family, just specifically you, because my questions were from just me, not a community. I don't know, I'm not talking about y'all reporting and letting the community know, because of course it can get messy. If you say in this story here, you haven't even got a chance to gather all the information. I understand that. Even autopsies, it takes time. But in the meantime, supporting the family to at least make us comfortable with the police in charge still, because we already know, I mean, regardless of how we try to make it, they're good and bad no matter where you go. It's good and bad people. Everybody is not wrong for it, but somebody has to take responsibility for it. When we sat down, it's not saying that, hey, y'all lying to us because y'all didn't take this phone call or mention it. It's not saying, hey, y'all trying to mislead us. But at the end of the day, hey, if it's not being done, I have to question it because they didn't mention it. I sat down with the police knowing that I made this phone call and my own family didn't even know about this. So, of course, I had to have some type of discipline and structure to weigh it out myself, like y'all investigate, right? So I did what I was supposed to do. I sat there and asked him, why was my father arrested and what happened prior? They could have said, hey, well, we did kind of get a call. Somebody called in and said something. They don't know who it was. Somebody called in and said that he needed help. He ran over here. He got to acting funny, grabbing my door and bit me. That was a more explanation for me to know what happened to my dad.
But for us today, all the information. And whether they're, I mean, if you said you made a phone call, I don't doubt that a bit. But I'm just telling you where we're sitting at.
Right.
The Highway Patrol has all of that data. I mean, every bit of the data.
Exactly.
And that's the reason why we want them to have it, because I don't want to come out here and then say, well, I heard there was this and I saw this and stuff. And I want whenever it comes out, I want it to be factual and I want it to be logistic. As far as the Highway Patrol, for me to come out here, I have tried my best not to say anything about it, and I'm not trying to. I'm sorry that your father's no longer here. I'm sorry that your father's no longer here, but I don't know why your father's not here.
Right, exactly.
And I want to know why just as much as you do. I wouldn't say that because you're his daughter and you want to know a lot more, but I'm trying to feel your pain.
Right.
But me myself, I want to get down to the brass tacks. Chief wants to know the brass tacks. We all want to know what the truth is, and that's the reason why we brought in the other organization, which is the State Highway Patrol. Then we have, besides they're doing the interviews with everybody, and they took all the data. And yeah, there might be bits or pieces that Chief might know, or one of those officers might know, or this and that. And I'm pretty sure that any officer out there has been instructed not to say anything about it either, because it doesn't help. Whenever we get the final result, and if I could have it today, if I could call right now and get the answers and get the results and have them bring them to me, I would give them to you right now.
And that energy is the best.
Why are they still on payroll? Why are they still working? If it's an investigation, why are they still on the patrol working as of today?
But mind you, the State Patrol is looking at everything, and they have not said anything to the point that's saying that if they thought that there was something wrong, it's their decision to be able to say, what's going to happen. And if they came to Chief and said, you need to suspend these guys, Chief would suspend them tomorrow. So nothing of that.
But it's the fact that, like, okay, so, like, and when we're under investigation, when we go to jail or something, we don't really get room to, you know, make those decisions. So why do they get room to be able to do that? I mean, they get to still go make money. You go in investigation at your job, you got to, like, get laid off work for a couple weeks or something. They got to figure it out before they're back to work. So even if they're good or bad, I mean, some responsibility needs to be taken for even being a part.
I'm just saying, I'm going to repeat myself one more time, and I wish I did know, and I wish we all knew, but
It's out of your head.
the information, until we get that back, until we get that report back, and everybody will know, and then it will have all the data. So we're in a position, and for us to be able to make, you know, he said, she said, post this, you know, interviews, all this stuff. That's where problems happen. Is if somebody's out there talking, whether whoever it is, and says something, and if it ends up not being true, then guess what? Then it's a detriment, because it might make you upset. So what we're at right now is we're still to the point that we are. Like I said, I want to repeat it one more time. If we knew the results, and if we could speed up the results, I'm going to guarantee you this: we are trying to get the results sped up, but they don't. But we also don't want them to overlook anything. So as far as results, they're going to do them very thorough. And when it's like this, they're not going to leave a stone unturned. So they're going to make their determination, and when that happens, everyone will know.
Exactly, but you have to understand why not only me, but the community feels like that, because depending on the roles, everything is different, which is why the community can't feel safe, because if roles are switched, we have to be held accountable. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. I mean, every way you can turn it. We can keep giving every excuse. We understand that you want to help and actually feel it, but I mean, at the end of the day, every story can continue to go back and forth if you want to take the fight on. I mean, it can continue to go on, but the facts is, it's just different under different circumstances in different causes. So that is why certain parts of the community, everybody can't think the way one person do. So whether I respect you or anybody else respect you, it will still be the same thing given, because we don't feel comfortable.
Well, ma'am, in this forum, and it's a true statement, we're not here in an open forum. We couldn't discuss disciplinary procedures or anything like that, no matter what. So even if you ask that and everything, that's nothing that will be discussed here in the first place. But I do understand your concerns, and I'm going to say it one more time to be able to tell everybody, it's not that I have anything that I can give you, and if I had it, I would. But I do understand that people want to know, and you know what? I want to know just as bad as y'all do. And
the toxicology is a part of that investigation. The toxicology is probably 6 to 8 weeks from when they send it off to the lab. That is the biggest hang up here that everybody's waiting on.
Exactly, is I kind of already knew that part. It was just the parts that I wanted to really know is, like, you know, obviously why the officers still on duty, because that is a big one still, because we can't feel comfortable. We don't even know all the officers that was on duty. And at the end of the day, if they was bad then, people do stuff. I mean, I've witnessed it with my own eyes. People do stuff.
I know, ma'am, but we're not.
Hold on.
No, ma'am. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to ask you to hold on for just a second.
But it's disrespectful. You see how the roles switch because you wanted to butt into what he said to me?
Ma'am, you had 3 minutes. We've let it go a lot longer than 3 minutes. And here's...
You want me to sit down, I will.
Ma'am, I just want you to understand. To rehash this all over again about the officers and everything else, if there's anything that I know is that the State Patrol, in my opinion, as anybody in the state of Missouri, that they are very strict in their order and how they do things. I know patience is not a great thing,
I have patience.
But as soon as we have something, we need to move on, because if we keep on, we're going in a circle and it's not getting us
right. But what I was just expressing to him was, honestly, this whole time I have been literally the main one not worried about y'all getting autopsy reports back or not worrying about anything else. My questions specifically had something to do with the phone call and why y'all weren't adding up the steps when y'all need to, and who's going to be there. Because seriously, like, I mean, even for me, nobody's contacting me. Like I said, this is my first time talking to the chief. my grandmother and my grandpa's here. So at the end of the day, there still could be someone set up, like social workers, the ones y'all send out to people's families and stuff like that. I mean, somebody to keep us updated, because my grandma old enough, she don't even know how to use a phone.
But ma'am, there's no update yet to
Right,
be
so that
had.
was my concern. I didn't come in here to like, okay,
I know.
you didn't, it's hard to trust from the phone call, you get me? We done went through a whole month now, and the phone call still haven't been mentioned on anything. The police report hasn't been released. I mean, so those things were still important, but the other things were too, that we don't have to go back and forth about.
Right, but ma'am, the best thing for us to do is
Comfort us, that's what I think.
well,
I mean,
it's
help us feel safe.
all with all the data that was there. It was to hand everything over to them and not try to put, like, well, we know this piece, we can release it, and we're not doing that. We're handed all the information, all the data to the State Highway Patrol, and I hope that they see this, and I hope they hear that your concerns, and also mind you, they also are an outlet that you can contact them and ask them questions too. I'm not trying to pass the buck on but
Right.
they hold the cards right now, and they're the ones that are going to make the determination. And as soon as they make that determination, we will be open and front with you.
Right.
I appreciate everybody coming out. I do, and I appreciate everybody's concerns. But I really want to make things happen. I really want to find the truth. And I'm not asking a lot of questions. I'm not asking Chief for questions. I'm not asking anybody else, because I want to have an open mind. Whenever that report comes back, if I have any questions, I want to be able to look at it and say, does it answer all the questions in my mind? And you can do the same thing. Does it answer all your questions?
Right. We just gotta patiently wait and try to trust. So I think the main thing with the whole City Hall thing would be ways that we can help each other trust the police, because I mean, all I'm hearing is we didn't heard 1,000 times, that it's in statewide highway patrol hands or whatever. We already know that, but we all came here because we wanted to get off those emotions, those questions that we're not getting. So even for you to continue to tell us the same thing we've known from the social media, that it's over the statewide highway patrol, whatever it is, we know that, we've seen that, we feel that too. But the thing is, that's not going to help us.
And
the only thing that's going to help us is patiently waiting, right? But the phone call, y'all didn't mention that, so it's hard to trust. We needed to make that valid. We can't trust if you didn't even mention that.
If I could say anything to alleviate any concern or help, I'd say it. But if I don't know what to say, there's nothing for me to say that's going to make it any better. But finding the truth is what we need to do. We all need to find the truth.
We have to make a choice if we're going to investigate it or let Highway Patrol. When we turn it over to Highway Patrol, I lose a lot of things. I don't investigate it because I've turned it over to them. If I investigate it while they're doing it, then people can allege that I'm trying to steer them a certain way. I lose time frame, right? I have to wait on them.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll wait till I lose the ability to talk about it because I can't interfere with their investigation. Just like we arrest people for interfering with investigations, I can't do that.
Yeah.
But
You know,
detain them people too, though, when they under investigation, you detain them. So they can't go to work, they can't go to school, they can't do anything. So they are
it
off.
depends on the circumstances. It
Right,
does.
but,
Right.
but either way it goes, if we're detained or we are arrested, we gotta wait till the investigation is completed before y'all release us,
But-
correct?
But you're assuming a certain set of details that you don't know there.
No, that's what
You
I'm
know what I
asking.
mean?
But
Is what I'm
we
saying.
don't know the details about this either.
But
The open
Yeah.
Okay.
investigation, they should be off of duty until the investigation is completed with Missouri State Highway Patrol, correct?
okay,
I don't think that's necessarily correct. It depends on the details.
yeah, and
they also don't. If we were investigating something internally, and we had concerns about their access to department information or anything, we'd put them on leave. And this is a totally different circumstance because the Highway Patrol's investigating it.
I got one more.
hold on.
I just got 3 questions real quick. The first one is, I'm assuming, I'm Tamika Taylor. The first question is, I'm assuming that the call she made was to get him some kind of mental help. When they received that call, why wasn't EMS there to meet him before it escalated the way it did? That's one.
All of that is going to see, that's the reason why I wanted to be a blank. You're telling me stuff that I don't know and I didn't know.
The call was made.
But you were telling me that a call was made, and I'm like, I didn't know a call was made. But all of that will come out in the investigation because of the fact that they'll bring everything out. They have all the facts, but because I'm assuming you made the call?
Yes.
Okay, so if you made the call, now all of a sudden, now she made a call. Well, then what happened after that? What happened after that? We are still in the same position that we've always been.
Without knowing the full details of the case, because he even knew that he even had the body cams released to him. So not the chief. One over there. She's telling you to tell me I need to sit down.
No.
Okay.
Honestly.
Because she keeps turning her mic off talking to you like hers don't work. It's offensive.
She is our attorney, and certain things she says are attorney-client.
Can I ask my second question?
Yes, ask your second question.
My second question is, if they come back and say that there are some that are guilty on that fourth, what changes after that when it comes to investigations? From that point forward, if they come back and say they are guilty, they need to be let go, then does the process change when it leads to an investigation, or are they put on suspension beforehand?
Right now, as far as police officers and anything to do with any disciplinary or anything, that's not one. It's not going to be discussed here. And the other thing is, if it was, it would probably come from the State Highway Patrol that would say, we need to have these guys do this. But right now, as it stands, no one has said anything to that effect to me. And so the State Highway Patrol they're looking at everything. And I believe, as we all, when it goes to the toxicology report, I don't know why those things take so long, but apparently this is my first with a toxicology report, and apparently they do. Every time I've heard of one, it always takes too long. So with us, as we're saying right here, if there was anything that we as a council or anything like that could do, we would do it. But until the answers come out and until the investigation is complete, we're just like you sitting here going, what is the results from their investigation? And as soon as that comes out, then we'll all know, and then we can sit down together and say, okay, this is what happened. But
that's my question, though. Like I said, if it comes back and they are guilty of anything,
that will
there be a visit of this conversation again to possibly make some changes.
If the State Patrol decides that anything needs to happen after this, it will be their decision to do that, not ours. So in other words, if you're saying anything else, it is the State Patrol. The case is in their hands, so they're going to determine what the facts are and what happened, and then when they do that, that's it. Period. It's not that they're just going to. I wish I knew. I really did.
Is there a way that we can get a ballot, like we pick city officials or city councils or mayors and judges? Can we also get a ballot for the police officers, and we can pick what police officers we want?
No, ma'am.
Might as well be picking what type of city officials can represent us, so we can't do it with the officers.
Well,
we know the bad and we know the good, so we can weigh it out ourselves. We don't have to keep dealing with, we know he's bad, but they're gonna keep him on the force. We know who's the good one. We know who's the bad one.
Well, I'm sorry, but you're not at the podium, and you had 3 minutes. I'm sorry.
Well, okay, cool.
Third question is because this is not the first time I've witnessed excessive force from the police department, not necessarily this particular group, but in the past. And I've known of instances not too long ago where a guy was choked out and couldn't even talk the next day. Is there some kind of training or something that can be done, because we don't feel safe? I don't know if I'm gonna call and end up for help and end up become a victim at this point. I don't feel safe. Now, as far as the chief, I can say he has been there for my family on a few occasions. He was there through my cousin's murder trial. He was there to help his mom through her bereavement. He's been there a few times. So I'm at the point, if I ever need their help, he's going to be the only one I want to come. And I'm just being honest, because at this point, I don't trust the rest of them, because I don't know where they're at mentally, especially knowing and hearing different stories of how different people are done. So is there some type of training or maybe even the hiring process, if something can be done differently.
They are trained, and hearing that Chief knows that they do extensive training, and he'll address that as far as in the future or anything like that. But as far as if you said about if something was, there's policies and procedures and laws that if any of those are broken, they will be handled just like anybody else.
We've done
Well, that's my
Right,
question.
but,
We've done that too,
Hold
so.
on, cuz, hold on. He just, when he told us up in the meeting that they was trained for these, the way to handle Lloyd, why didn't they take those proper procedures to
Ma'am, hold on.
We don't know that
We
until
don't
we get
know
the
what proper
investigation.
procedure, so you're making accusations, and we don't know until they come back with their report.
I'll give you that since it wasn't a fact. We don't have a video. We only have a video for. It don't take 10 minutes to handle nobody either. And y'all got.
But ma'am, please.
You do.
Please.
You got them.
Yes.
It's video on that building.
My name is Andre Young,
There.
Yes, sir.
All
And-
the videos have been turned over.
I want to know how y'all feel about the police department.
I've already answered that. I mean, as far as the police department, as far as the city and everything else, myself, and I can only speak for myself, I feel very confident. I feel very confident in the chief. And if like you said you saw something, I feel very confident that if any of y'all ever saw anything that you thought was wrong and you contacted the chief, that he would definitely look into it.
We see it every day. I mean, how
Well,
deep
yeah,
it is.
okay, you said y'all feel fine, then we got other people who saying different. We feel different. To be honest, I'm looking at some people, if I saw y'all on the street, y'all wouldn't even speak to me.
That's not true.
You're making a lot of
Your
assumptions.
assumption.
Anyway, like I said, I'm speaking my piece, and I'm living proof, and I've experienced it, and we experience it every day. Working citizens of the city of Sikeston still get harassed and don't get the benefit of the doubt. I would like to know how each individual feel about this situation. Because if y'all don't care, then ain't nothing gonna change.
Only one.
Hold on. Now, I would like you speaking, but it's all these people. You got to ask everybody, do you agree with this? So I would like to know individually how each person on this panel feels about this situation. Because I need to hear how you feel. How you feel. If we can't go off, I want to hear you, him, her. I want to hear all y'all how they feel, because this is how we're going to start. Y'all got to feel it. We got to see that y'all understand what we're going through. Y'all don't understand. Y'all, Sikeston the hood. You worry about that. Y'all don't even worry about that down there. Y'all don't worry about that. But y'all know what the hood is, because you didn't correct me where's the hood? Y'all know where it's at. Y'all know where it's at, so y'all know where the hood is. So y'all understand that it's separate. It's separate, and it's not equal. My son is 5 years old. We outside playing, and every 5-10 minutes, it's a police riding around our neighborhood. Man, we got to go over to white folks' neighborhood so we can be comfortable. That's crazy. There's no crime in our neighborhood each and every day. To where police is every time we look up, it's a police here, then another one coming, they crossing each other. Why is that? Why? That's what I want to know. And my kid can't even go outside. He's scared. Why has he got trauma? Because he know it and seen. And said he's seen his uncle get killed by police. He done seen this. These are traumatizing our kids. It's things that we see every day. Now, the little white kid, he see the police and want to be like them. Black kid want to see them and they scared of them. So that's the problem. That's the problem. We shouldn't be scared. I ain't did nothing. But when I'm driving home and they get behind me, why am I scared? What have they done to us to make us feel like this? So I want to know how y'all feel about that. I'm letting y'all know how I feel. And I got some people who are with me who feel the same way.
And you made the assumption right off the bat. You said I wouldn't say hi to
No,
you.
that's a fact. I'm telling you what my experiences. I said probably. If I probably see you, probably wouldn't even speak to me.
You probably wouldn't.
So probably. But it's true. It's true. 3 of us black guys get in the huddle. Send them over there. Here come the cars coming. We ain't doing nothing but talking. When I can see white folks doing whatever they want to do, whatever they want to do. And listen, I ain't racist. I love white people. I love people. But when I see a difference, I'm pointing it out. Point it out. Just play the music, do whatever uptown. But when you go across them tracks, that's where all the police at.
I mean, a license.
Y'all know it.
Stuff, anything, just,
I got white friends, I'm at their house, I never see a police. Never see at their police. You can park on the wrong side of the street, the police don't even bother you. But you come to the hood, that's when they come to do their jobs. They want to pull the belts up, they ready. They want to do their jobs.
circle in the park.
What's the wrong? What's the difference? Hey, I want an answer. I've been talking. I want some answers. I want to see how y'all feel.
I'll answer that. Chief, let me take this.
I was asking them. I'm talking about the panel.
You're talking about. I
was talking about the panel because they ain't making the laws. You ain't making the laws. You enforcing them. They making them.
All right. Let's listen up.
So just so everybody understands the system, because I see a lot of misunderstanding online. I see a lot of misunderstanding online. I'm the city manager. I work for the city council. They don't work for me. I work for them. The police chief works for me and the other department heads of the city. That's how our system works, just so you know who's talking to you right now. The police respond where crime is happening. And I'm talking about statistics. I'm not talking about any group of 3 men that are together and talking. I'm talking about where we get most of our 911 calls, where people are asking us to come respond to. That's where they end up naturally.
No. So
and you wanted to know how we feel about what happened. I feel it's a terrible tragedy. I feel for anybody that passes away, especially in an interaction with the police. I feel it's a terrible tragedy. I want to know what happened. Now, I'm stuck in the same position as everybody else, waiting on the highway patrol to give us that information. And I'll tell you from my perspective why we don't release information piecemeal, a little bit at a time, what little things we do know. Because I would hate, as a citizen of Sikeston and as the city manager, if the city put out a piece of information and then a month later the highway patrol finishes their exhaustive investigation and they said that what we said earlier was not totally correct because we rushed to put it out there. I would hate for that to happen. So I'm going to wait for the highway patrol to finish their investigation, and then we'll take whatever those results are. We'll look and see if there were policy violations. We'll see if there was any criminal things, and we will move forward from there. But I can't tell you right now.
I'm not looking for information. I'm looking for change. And what would y'all like to do? What would y'all do going forward? Is there any things in place that how y'all feel?
Let me explain it this way, okay? I tried my best. I mean, and us as a council, we brought one of our council meetings down to Lincoln University so that we could get more people involved. Just getting more people involved. We do the video now, so more people can get involved. We do everything that we can. I don't care if it's Ward 4, Ward 3, Ward 2, Ward 1. We try to get more people involved. Believe it or not, I like the room full. I like the room, and if everybody ever asks any questions, I like to hear what's going on or what people think. Now, I will say this. Sikeston, is it perfect? No, Sikeston is not perfect. But there's only one place it is, and I hope to be there someday. And I'm hoping that trying to get more people involved and understanding that we do care, and I care, that I want everybody. I mean, I try to attend whether it's music in the park or whatever, stop the violence, do anything that you can. I try to attend everything that I can to show people that, you know what, we need to quit looking at each other in different eyes and be able to look at each other and say, I like you, you like me. We need it, you know, male, female, black, white, green, purple. I don't care what everybody is. I'm like you. I really wish that everybody would just forget about all this, and then I'm going to give a little example, and I've given it since I started out as mayor. Whenever Sikeston comes together, you know when do we come together? When do we come together? When do we come together and we forget everything?
The rodeo?
No.
No, nowhere.
Wrong, Red. Hey, when Sikeston basketball's playing, how many of us sit on one side and say, we are Sikeston and we are Bulldog? When it's football, we say we are Sikeston. When it's stuff like that, why can't we carry that over to the community? Why can't we? Because you know what? We'll stand right next to each other and say, kick their tails and all this stuff. And we don't care. We don't care what you drive, what color you are, what you're wearing, anything else. We're all there supporting the sports of Sikeston. And if we could take that mentality and bring it on to everywhere else in the community of Sikeston, we'd be a hell of a lot better place. And I challenge each and every one of you, as you said about, you wouldn't even say hi to me. If I don't say hi to you, make sure you come up to me and say hi. Because
that's what we do.
Hey, Red. But anyway, I really do. I think we're better than this. And we can make this town a lot.
This isn't a white or black thing. This is our police officers and how they affect our community. And the fact that you guys have the authority to suspend.
Ma'am, hold on. If first, if you want to talk, you go to the mic, and then hold on. Hold on. You had somebody in line already.
I'm just gonna put my name and walk out. I'm done. That way, y'all can use whatever.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Valisha. I actually want to kind of piggyback on what he said. As for, I'm not going to necessarily say discrimination, but I personally live on the east side of town, and I have seen where there's crowds on the west end, and there's nothing going on, no violence, everybody chilling, everybody good. You see about 3-4 police every 5 minutes. I can drive home, leave the same area, and the parking lot in front of Aaron's is full of non-black children. And Juneteenth, perfect example. They were in the hood deep. There was absolutely nobody on that side of town. And there was at least 70 to 80 vehicles that were on that lot. Not one police officer in sight at all. But because I only got 3 minutes, I'm just going to run through everything really quick. I know, again, y'all can't really touch in on the investigation. However, there's information that y'all can provide if it is readily available in regards to public buildings and public figures where it's either being paid for by local grants or tax money. All right, so if anything was to go wrong with one of these facilities or buildings, or they need some sort of maintenance, that has to go through you all, right?
Depends on how big.
Well, just a newer building that's currently being used by our public officials. If there's any type of maintenance that needs to be done for any particular thing that's not working.
By the city you're talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so going back on that.
If it was a capital improvement, if you're talking about, who's going to mop the floor tomorrow? We don't get involved with that. But if you need a new AC unit, yes, we're in.
No. So when it comes to the police station, in regards to the cameras facing north and facing east, which would have caught whatever happened that particular day. So if there was some sort of malfunction where those cameras were not working and they needed to be replaced or repaired, that would have had to been brought to y'all attention, correct?
No, not necessarily. That would probably not rise to the level.
If cameras weren't working, chief would take it onto himself. If something's broke, it's like if a cop car had a flat tire, they don't bring it to us. If the camera's not working, they're going to get it fixed.
Okay, so if nothing has been stated about the only reason I ask that because typically repairs and maintenance for public buildings are usually grants or taxpayers, right? It's our funding that helps take care of that. It's not coming out of their pockets and it's not coming out of y'all pockets. It's coming out of, okay, so in that retrospect, if there was something wrong with the cameras, that funding, he can go get it fixed, but he has to account to where that money is coming from, right? He has to get that funding approved.
Right, he has a budget, yes.
Right, okay, so that means if nothing has been turned in regarding that budget, that there was something wrong with those cameras, then those cameras should have been working that day.
And the State Highway Patrol has all the footage, everything.
And I get that, and they have all the footage, but I guess in my thinking that I don't understand why it's taking so long if there's actual video camera. And again, y'all can't really touch on the investigation, but I just wanted to address that piece because we do pay for the cameras.
Whenever the investigation is closed, you'll know what cameras. I'll know what cameras. I don't even know where the cameras are. Honestly, I know they have body cams. but that's what I do know. Go ahead, Chief.
Well, I just want to make this statement. You know, I became chief here in 2019. And to be honest, it was a job I was not sure that I really wanted, to be honest with you. I took that job and I took it seriously. In 2020, we partnered with the DOJ and we did the SPC program. We started the PAC committee. Harold will tell you about that. We ran that to ground. We tried to get people to come. We tried to partner with the community. People stopped coming. We tried to do that, okay? All right, in 2022, I was at Lincoln University when we had a record numbers of shots fired on the west end of town, and I asked the community for help. We had, and y'all, some of you remember this because y'all were probably in the NAACP meetings that I went to for over 3 years. In fact, they asked me to go. They said, you're the chief, you're part of this community, this is not just a black thing, you should come. I came. And then it was like, why is the chief here? Why is he spying on us? That's what happened. Some of y'all can say that because you were there. So I stopped going, okay? Because I don't want to dissuade other people from going to the NAACP meeting, right? Let me finish, okay? Now you ask, why are we focusing? Right now in a room at DPS, I have a map that probably needs to be updated. It's probably 3 or 4 years old, but that map has pinpoints on it of the murders in this town. I know y'all know the people who have been murdered. I know you do. And some of them probably live next to you, probably related to them. And that matters to us. Whether you believe that or not, it matters to us. And that is probably the most major motivator of our police department, is to stop the murders. I have been there when small kids have been shot and killed. A 19-year-old had his chest blown open with a shotgun, and it's terrible. And you ask if I'm going to sit back and let that happen? No, ma'am. I'm not going to do that. I'm not done, okay? Y'all asked me to speak. You put a lot of criticism on my department, and I'm telling you, this is what motivates us. Now, all of that effort, how many people come and help us? Why do we patrol these areas so heavily? Because no one calls us. No one calls us, so we do not have that relationship. If we had that relationship, then we would know when things are heating up, and we wouldn't have to be present all the time. That's just the fact.
Or do you want to know why?
I just explained how we tried to build a relationship, and no one showed up. And people are asking, what are we going to do? And I'm telling you, over the last 6 years, 7 years, we have tried. But as my daddy would say, a relationship is a two-way street. Yeah. And so I don't know what else I can do.
But you said we don't call. That's why y'all come through.
We don't. But you know the first thing y'all gonna say, y'all been calling the police.
That ain't got nothing to do with it. What I'm trying to tell him is, yes, people, you know, they be scared to talk to the police. Why? Because the police will throw them under the rug. The police will tell them, hey, he told on you. He did this to you.
But what you're talking about,
everybody is not going to speak up.
But what you're talking about is a real thing. And that is the world we live in, and that's why we go to all this technology to try to solve these cases, to try to fill that gap.
But we also said all of y'all not bad. We also stated that. But all of y'all not bad. Everybody respects certain ones in y'all department, but certain ones do not deserve it.
Here's where we got to go from here. Is I want to say this much. Y'all have had a lot of concerns, and you might not trust somebody here or there. That man right there, you need to trust. And hold it. That man you need to trust. And if y'all make the commitment to be able to come together and have meetings and do things, he'll be there. I'll come. We'll get as many people as we can to come to where we're coming together. And I'm telling you right now, if you're saying you need an outlet and you need something and you want to get together and you want to tell them your concerns and everything like that, then start off by telling him you're interested. Maybe it's not the PAC. Maybe it's something else. But I remember when Chief came to me and he told me about the NAACP, and he said, I was going to the meetings, and then they said that people started not coming because they were spying on me. Now listen. So he's like, so where do I go? Where do I go to get involved with y'all? And then so you can feel comfortable in telling and being able to say, how can you help us here? How can you help us there? Because if he doesn't know and can't get involvement, he's a man on an island. So I'm saying, don't let this momentum die now, and it's not going to be fixed tomorrow. But what I'm telling you right now is, give him a chance. If there's some, Chief does not want anybody to be mistreated at all. Period. And I guarantee you, I put my life in his hands. I do it today. John Broom back there, I do the same thing. Ryan, I've sort of got questions about. No. Ryan Smith, those guys, I work with them all the time, and I would definitely put my life in their hands. And you asked me how I feel about them, I would and I do. But if I had an issue with any one of them, or if I thought that there was a problem, guess where I'd go? I'd go to Chief and I'd say, let's build something. Let's get something together. Let's make something happen. And that's where I'm going to leave that. Because, guys, you got a guy there right there that cares about the community. He's not the guy that does the shock and awe. He's not the guy that's going to try to, he don't want you to do something bad so he can arrest you. He wants to stop people from doing something bad. So then he doesn't have to arrest you. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. So how much is being done outside of policing to prevent crime or even to heal some of these communities that are historically disadvantaged? Is there any active thought being put into changing those things?
Well, Gwyneth, as you say, right now, today, there probably isn't as much, but it's not that historically we haven't tried. And he's given several examples of trying. So you can't say, just because today there's not something in place, but maybe today is the time to start. But in the past, there's been not much participation and not much as far as come and go. But it's not to say that tomorrow we can't start again and we can try again. And I don't care what the program is. I don't care if you want, us to come to NAACP, if you want to start the PAC program or whatever. We need to come to an agreement, but we got to have a key person from the city for sure. And one of those key people is going to be the chief of police. I don't mind being back there and supporting him 100%. But tomorrow is another day, and that's where we're going to make the changes. We can't change tomorrow, but we can change. We can't change yesterday, but we can change tomorrow. Got it backwards in there, Ed.
So when the results of the investigation by the Missouri State Highway Patrol come out, would the city commit to a meeting to discuss those findings and how people might want to move forward?
I've never been involved with that. I don't know how that happens. I think the chief police will come out with the results of that. I don't know.
Maybe a public discussion over the findings, what they say, and why they say that could help people to understand the processes going on behind the scenes when an investigation like this is done.
We can look into that, yes.
Also, the budget was approved for 2027, right?
Correct.
It should be on the website then? It's not. Get that up there?
Rhonda normally would post and she is out of the office. I could get anybody a copy of it.
Okay, yeah, that was my second question.
It'll be up there.
Because I sent her an open records request for a couple things and I didn't get a response, but if she's out, who should I direct that to then?
If you would send that to me, that would be fine. Because we have been trying, she's been forwarding emails and stuff to us. And we have responded to some. But I apologize if she didn't see that one.
It's okay, I assume.
Yeah, send it to me. We will respond right away.
Also, so when there are complaints of misconduct or disciplinary measures taken, is any of that data published? Any of it?
I would say, I don't know that we publish any data on that.
Okay.
I would say that the high profile incidents are public knowledge, that, the officer involved shootings, things like that are public knowledge.
Is there a way?
A lot of complaints are going to fall under personnel records. They're not open to the public.
Would there be a way to compile those things or maybe redact the names of officers who have not been charged with anything or officially, disciplined, but to have a database where you can see what this caller said, what the complaint was about, any disciplinary measures taken without names, so that to protect their identity.
Now, Gwyneth, you're saying if somebody complains and say if there's not any disciplinary actions, then there shouldn't be anything. And if you work with any company, I don't work for the police department. I don't work anywhere else. I work at a large manufacturer here in town. There's some of that is part of HR. You've got to be careful if you're getting disciplinary. Now, if it's something that was public and it's disciplinary, and there's somebody files a complaint, yes, it can be the person that files the complaint can do that. But as far as there's some things, if somebody, just say for instance, if somebody shows up late, they show up late, they've been showing up late all week. Is that a disciplinary action? Should we publish that? No.
I guess I mean disciplinary measures specifically on complaints of misconduct.
As far as misconduct, and there's several forms of misconduct that you can go by too.
My question comes down, though, to basically publishing those complaints. There are some cities that do. Would the city consider looking into how that could be done without putting innocent people into, having their names out there?
Well, then what you're doing is you're putting out something that if I say somebody did something wrong and you don't know who's wrong, you think everybody's wrong.
I'm going to find a way to make this question a little more precise and come back next week.
All right. Not next week. It's the end of the...
Not next week, next time. Yeah, my bad. So there are a lot of things, a lot of frustrations here that people had. I guess my question for y'all is, do you feel like you fully understand people's needs, frustrations, and daily experiences? And what do you need to fully understand them?
I mean,
better.
That's what we're talking about tomorrow, Gwyneth. We're trying to say, no, I don't understand what her thoughts and concerns are, and she doesn't understand what mine are. But until we get together and discuss those thoughts and concerns, I'll never know.
So then
I can evaluate. I can look at and say, hey, she might like. She wishes there were more sidewalks because she had to walk on grass because I see grass on her feet. Well, I don't know that. She has to tell me. So that's where the communication is going to come into play, is that we got to talk together to be able to communicate and be able to figure out, okay, you just say, for instance, if she says or he says or whoever that I want something monumental, well, there's a budget constraint or there's property constraint or so it's a combination of the two working together to be able to know what my constraints are and also knowing what the needs and desires are.
Unity is indeed a two-way street. So your answer to that is just that we need more people in here speaking in person about these things.
We need more people not only in here, we need more people in other meetings outside of here. We don't need to come to a city council meeting and think this is it.
Y'all publish them?
Say what?
Do y'all publish them other meetings?
No, I'm saying we need to create meetings.
Oh, okay.
That is a good idea. All right. My last question was, so had the city considered doing anything to specifically provide support for the Gilmore family while the investigation is ongoing, mental health resources, things of that nature? And if not, would the city consider putting some plans aside if this were to ever happen again in the future?
I think we'd definitely be willing to talk about that. I don't know what we could do for them at the moment. I'm willing to hear that and consider it. It's not something that is typically done, but I'm willing to hear ideas.
Okay, that's all I had to ask.
Opportunity for him to...
I hope you'll be patient with me. I'm just getting out of dialysis, but I promise to use my teacher voice.
There you go.
Not behind the microphone. I do believe that the gravity of the topic that was just shared and the outpouring of the citizens of Sikeston here tonight represents a true concern. There are other topics, though, and so I beg your forgiveness that we've gone from something so fever pitch to another topic that's certainly not as important. Good afternoon. My name is Margaret Ann Moon, M-H-O-O-N, and I live 1 block south of the Sikeston Police Department on the corner of Gladys and Madison. I am here this evening to update you on the failure of the enforcement of the city ordinance, which in 2022, by public vote by the citizens of Sikeston, they rejected the shooting of fireworks within the city limits. The good people of Sikeston rejected this. This included all fireworks. I don't know respectfully whose brainchild this was for now the city of Sikeston to sell fireworks, but it's not working. They are still shooting fireworks in the city limit illegally. Where are the safeguards by the city protecting homes, vehicles, businesses, and the residents themselves from dangers, let alone the horrific negative impact fireworks has on animal health? Let me tell you what happened to me on July 4th. I was in my front room and a spray of fireworks hit my front porch. Mind you, my yard is covered in sawdust from 2 trees recently cut down, and my porch has straw bedding for rescue animals. It could easily have been a fire. We know that fireworks runs between 100 to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Respectfully, you have quadrupled the workload of our already strapped police force. The selling of fireworks in Sikeston and then expecting people not to shoot them is ludicrous. Here's just a suggestion. Not everyone is on Facebook to get your postings about the ordinance. Not everyone gets and reads the newspaper. But when they come to purchase fireworks in Charleston, Benton, Minor, and now Sikeston, juveniles should be accompanied by an adult who signs a notice form acknowledging what the financial penalties of civil fines will be in Sikeston if they shoot in the city limits. This should be published, the ordinance enforced. They will have been warned. Thank you for your kind time.
Thank you. Are there any other comments for tonight? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
And Mayor, give me 5 minutes. When 4 minutes come, raise your hand, because once I start talking, it's hard for me to stop, right? So you're gonna wrap it up.
We have to stick to the 3, but we might let you fudge a little bit.
Okay, give me 4 then, right?
3.5.
I want to say hello to everybody. My name is Valerie Creighton. I'm born and raised in Sikeston, Missouri. My father is Johnny Ray Longstreet, and my brother Vincent Longstreet died last year. And I want to say, most of the times when we come together as people, it is at a funeral. It's not to come together to try to get things to work. And that's what we have to do. And I understand, that's what's going on now is hurting everybody. But I want to say, I've done projects in Sikeston, Missouri since I can remember. In 2010, we did we did a project down in Sunset and in the old park. And so the police officer came to me and he said, Valerie, if you want to do this next year, let me know and we'll get Lincoln Park over there for you and we'll put toilets and everything up. And that's what happened. We asked for it and we got it. Now, this past year, I brought people from Trinidad and Tobago, the Old Time Wedding Group, right? That next week when they had the wine festival, I can't tell you how many white people came to me and say, we saw y'all on television. You did a good job. We like the fact that you brought attention to our community. I'm saying all of this to say, don't wait for somebody to come down there and tell you something. You come to the meetings and ask for what you want. You don't get anything until you ask for what you want. I live in Washington, D.C., and I live in Trinidad and Tobago. And I ain't going to call no names, and I ain't going to look at nobody. But whenever I need something, I get on that phone and I call the contact person in City Council, the tax person, whatever. And I say, this is what I need to know. This is what we're trying to do. And it gets done. You got to come down here, not just when there's something bad happening, but anytime. You got to come in and build a community. You got to come and try to work together. Now, this year we are doing a project, and we already got for Return to Sunset, but it's called Sundown in the Boot Hill. And I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it. We're going to do a pig roast, right? And we want the city to come down there and roast a pig. We want, we're going to have the Civil War people to come roast a pig. We're going to have the military people to come roast a pig. And it is dedicated to the military and to the police force, because those are our protectors. That's who we're dedicating our reunion to this year, okay? I got a half minute, right? But anyway, I just want to say, when you want something, come down and ask for it. Come to the meetings. Don't wait for nobody to come down there and tell you what's going on, because that's not going to happen. We got burial grounds down there that the roots are coming up. The roots of the trees are turning over the tombstones and everything. Who goes out there and look at it and try to cut the grass? Huh? But the city has told me, say, hey, we want to help. We want to do something out there. We want to help you. So, you know, come down and help. Now, I'm back here for 3 weeks. Believe you me, I'm going to go to the city and say, okay, this is what we're going to do, and I'm going to put a group of people, we're going to get that grass cut. Youngblood, I want you to look at me, and I want you to remember me, because this year, I want you to be involved in what we're doing in Sundown in the Boot Hill. And that's all I have to say. May I end my time up?
Yeah. Thank you, though. Thank you. Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Turnbow? It shouldn't even take 3 minutes for me to get this done, for real. I came down here out of support. I ain't make no statement. I ain't write it down. I should have, because I want to make sure I say this properly. But just a couple points of interest. The way this meeting was held, I want our community to pay attention how we conducted this meeting, because this is how you conduct the meeting. This is how everybody got their voices heard. We getting a lot of conversations going back and forth. This is how it's a way to conduct the meeting, and this is how we should conduct the meeting, so we can get a lot of answers, get everybody heard, and we can move forward. As far as the council, something that I want you to take note of, as far as the trust impact, trust, what I've heard, is easily hard to gain and easily lost. So let's keep that in mind. Let's take that into consideration. And how I feel about you, I don't even know any of you personally. Other than you, Mr. Robinson, you was a lawyer for me one time. Thank you. I don't know any of you personally, but how I feel about you personally is a lot different than my relationship with you when it comes to matters like this. You know what I'm saying? I could be I'm a part of the NAACP, right? So, my thing, Mr. Turnbow, I liked the city of Sikeston. I grew up, Sikeston was good to me. Sikeston's been very good to me and my family, you know what I'm saying? So I'm very appreciative of the work you do, but at the same time, when it comes to issues, so I trust you when it comes to running this city. When it comes to running this city, I got a lot of trust in y'all to do what needs to be done. But when it comes to police brutality and things of that nature, it's like, it's a different situation. It ain't the same level of trust. And nothing against you personally, it's just I understand your position. Your position is to enforce and protect y'all interests, correct? And I understand that and I respect that. So I hope you don't look at this as me, my personal trust with you, and that trust is just a different understanding. But other than that, you know, I was once told that the heir, or the man who makes the doctor his heir, might not survive a surgery. You ever heard that before? So,
I just did. That was a good one.
Yeah. If my grandfather was to make his doctor his heir, and then have to undergo some type of surgery, it probably wouldn't end well. You know what I'm saying? So trust is easily lost, and it takes a long time to gain. So let's start right now if we're gonna do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mark Wiggins, and I'm son of Louis Wiggins and Margie Wiggins. I just want to let everybody know I love the city of Sikeston. I grew up here. I'm a bulldog, and everything that's going on, sometimes it can be so disheartening. But what I want to say is, in order for people to come together, you first got to love one another. It's hard to come together with somebody that don't love you. Now, we understand the emotion and everything that goes on, but I want to say this, coming from Dallas, been there 25 years, and like he said, I want to give respect to how the city conducted this meeting, because trust me, in other city council meeting, you get your 3 minutes and that's it. Anytime over 3 minutes, you're shut down, and you listen and you did everything well. We can be critical, and ain't nothing wrong with being critical if we can accept positive criticism. So I like what the chief say. I mean, maybe he tried and it failed. Maybe we can try again and we'll be successful. But at the end of the day, city of Sikeston and just overall, it got its issues. Don't trust me. Sometimes I think it's such a low vibrating, everybody's looking for somebody to do something to fix them when we should fix ourselves. Now, when someone harms you, do something to you, you're supposed to. We're Americans, But the problem that we have in Sikeston is just not unique to Sikeston. It's American way. And so if we could just figure a way to really just love and understand that the South lost, slavery happened, and all these things that mentally, systematically keep us divided. If we can turn it around and become united and think about how great America would be if we had been united, and how great it could be if we just unite. And thank y'all so much for listening to me.
Thank you.
I wanted to say one more thing quick. I know I already talked, but I've been hearing a lot of us say this, and it's just that I feel like as far as getting all of the black, I'm not racist, but all of that community to trust, it's more so without not judging them. I mean, you will look at somebody that's not dressed as nice as you and you can't even get a job. I mean, just to get help, sheltering, just all type of things that people will go through suffering. Like when we get out of jail, it's hard for us to get a job. It's not police brutality, not even the main thing. I mean, if anything, we used to that by now. So that's not going to fix us. Just gaining the police trust, we need to feel comfortable in the whole community. My car broke down one time. I'm walking up by kindergarten center, a police ride by. Now all of a sudden it's very important because my car broke down and I'm just walking down these lines. I don't know these people, of course, but my car is broke down, so I'm stuck here. I got to deal with this. But it's no matter the police or any area. It's we're judged based off of, that's what make white and black a big thing, because it's not even just the police. It's just that they areas get treated better. It gets respected. It's a certain amount of respect given, with people. Y'all can see us walking around, doing that. Not everybody, but it's a lot of the people are just kind of scared because they already have an image. They've dealt with it with so many years. A lot of people are ready now, but a lot of them people are already old in their house shut in because they don't even want to deal with it no more. It's hard. It's you being under limited options make you be depressed. That's why half of us walking around here mad anyway, because we putting everything into trying to survive and still got to just sit down with nothing by the end of the night. It don't make sense. And then with the police problems on top of it, not just beating. I mean, I'm a person who's dealt with the system so much just for my license, and all I did was backed into a parked vehicle years ago. You feel me? I done went to jail, been taken away from my kids. I mean, been almost sent to prison. Just because I had to get in my car, because my dad is gone, and I only had myself. I had to literally put my kids in a whole different school district just to be able to get them to school, because Sikeston police would be waiting at alleys on me because they knew my license was messed up and I'm an easy ticket. So even when you know that the community is suffering, I mean, I done been in Cape, cities and all that, tax could be out. I mean, we trying to pay these bills, we paying the rent, but we might not have it for the tags right now. It's not that we want to go to jail. I mean, some things we don't want to do either, but we're forced to try to survive.
And part of it, and I don't mean to interrupt, but I mean, I've got another gentleman behind you wanting to talk, but part of it is, and I've heard in your statements just now, it's the assumptions. It's the assumptions of
because it's from trauma. It's
but it's like this. We need to get away from the assumptions and go forward.
We can, but in order to get away, you got to really know how we feel by not just police brutality, but other areas as well.
It goes both ways.
Right. It goes every ways, exactly. But the only reason you can know how people who don't have the energy or courage to show up is if I speak that part for them, because it's a lot of people that, even though this looks like a crowd, honey, we get together way bigger than this. I'm pretty sure if we would have had this meeting outside of this office, we would have had a lot more people participate. That's the honest truth. Because you just speaking to us, some people don't have the courage to face y'all no more. Some people are fed up. Some people don't want to keep on explaining because it shouldn't have to be explained. The fact that we got on the same page is good, but we shouldn't have to do this in order for it to work because you guys took the position to lead this community. So it's up to y'all to really go out and get us. We shouldn't have to come to a certain scenery to get some information. We had meetings too. I mean, I love the chief and what y'all trying to do, but it's still ways that y'all can show up like us. Some of us don't have cars. Some of us can't walk. Some of us got to use our last $5. I walked up here. My car broke down on me for the second time on my way here. Okay. So, I mean. I
appreciate your comments, but this gentleman right here, I know he's getting.
I get it. Yeah. See, he ain't worried. You focus on the wrong thing. Don't get distracted.
I gotta keep
right,
it.
I understand.
I gotta keep it.
But that's the real me.
Go ahead, sir. Your name?
My name's Terrell Johnson, Terrell Cowboy Johnson. I actually ran for city council of the 4th Ward. I am also your facilitator of your PAC team. As chief, the SPC started under the Department of Justice. We have discussed many of these issues that have been going on now. And through those discussions, and when I say discuss, I mean 5 years every Tuesday in the police department with park officials, members of the community. We've invited 573 Empowerment. We've invited, I forget her name, the lady that gives out bikes. Eventually, what it all boiled down to are brass tacks, as you say. You said something that I loved. I think it was in the video. You said, I don't just want problems, bring me a solution. So here's your solution, sir. Your PAC team needs to be revamped. Now, the big issue that we ran into with the PAC team is that this was a program started by the Department of Justice, but it was the Department of Justice, which is federal, and the city at the time before you, your predecessor, stated they needed to fund it. I finally got the information for the funding of the PAC team. The main objective of the PAC team that we boiled down of talking with Rashard Owens, everybody that was a part of it, Laura J. Knox, we've already done that. You need an Office of Professional Standards. Not someone to investigate your police, but someone who does keep track of those reports of misconduct by your police or possibly harassment by your police. Because you're not looking at it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And because no one's collecting it doesn't mean either. I've already going to extend an invitation to the NAACP, and we just do it how the DOJ did it. We get everybody back to the table. You can ask Chief. We started with 80. We broke into groups. How do we do this? What does next? From that 80, we worked it down to 20 and elected official. Our last meeting was literally me, Chief, and Glenn Contrell. And everyone else had given up because it just got stuck on funding. Now, here's the funny part. The name of the federal program in which you can use is called COPS. Uncle Sam has jokes. I'll be reaching out to the NAACP on the 3rd and the next meeting of PACT. Due to the stipulations of the community and the safety of all members, we lost a lot of community support because we were meeting at the police precinct and the community did not feel comfortable meeting at the police precinct. So since the community took the first step of meeting the city and the needs at the police precinct for 5 years, we ask on the new VAMP that the city meet us at the NAACP building. I plan on speaking to them. I've already stopped by and gave them a heads up. It's not a simple solution. The hardest problems have the simplest solutions, but the simplest solutions are the hardest to implement. But this is something we can implement, and it will solve a lot of answers, a lot of animosity when they do have questions, that there is a third party that's not looking criminally, but just looking that did our officers do what they're supposed to. Thank you. And also, as a side note, I am saying this as an individual Sikestonian facing 5 felony charges where your police department got on the stand and did not investigate and stated that. So it is happening.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to go back to, I've been trying to get up here, I ain't got no clothes on, but I just want to go back to y'all talk about the community and how the chief was, trying to do that. But my thing is, nobody wants to be where the police is with what's going on. Why y'all can't come to us on a regular day when y'all not at work, out of the uniform, and see you? I don't even know the chief's first name. What's the chief's first name? Where is he at? Drew. I want to be able to.
No.
My bad. But like,
Jim.
he, come to the park and I could just shake him up like, hey Jim, how you doing today on a regular day? When I see I've never seen any of these officers out of uniform. Just we kick back all the time. I know almost everybody in here. Just come to the park, regular clothes, off the clock, not in a police car, not watching, just come up. You want to play a game of spades or something? We can kick. But yeah, y'all pull up. Hey, Greg, what you been on lately?
I had a knee replacement. I ain't playing no basketball.
But it's just simple stuff like that. Like, just come kick it. Exactly. Come kick it with y'all community. See what we doing out there. It's not all bad. Everything, David. Hey, Dave, how you been doing this weekend? You want to play a little spades or something? Just outside of y'all's positions, come kick it with y'all's community. Like, just come. Y'all ain't got, it's not nothing extravagant, nothing crazy going on. Just come, say hey to somebody, learn somebody's name. How many people in here do you know? Have you seen outside of here? Like, come on, y'all trying. That's the way to try. Not as the police getting in this community as a human being out with other human beings on a regular day. That's all I had to say, though.
The only thing I got to say is that I know I'm not going to play you in spades because you said spades like 4 times. That means
I love
Thank you. Are there any other comments?
You want to go to the podium? Or you want to go to the floor?
Last one, Red. Last one.
Okay.
We're going to keep you down to 2 minutes.
Okay, so as a part of the community, a lot of people in the community we has felons. How can we go by helping the people that has these buildings or these jobs they can orchestrate to help felons get a jobs, help felons get houses, help felons get any type of justice to help them succeed in life because they already paid their debt to society. Can they get a second chance?
I can't even get housing.
I mean,
you get kicked out of housing.
Don't have any problem about that, but we need to know. We need to learn how. I mean,
we can do it together, Greg.
Now, I don't know how.
Even apartments, like I was failing for apartments. Even just the fact that I'm a felon just for driving, I got denied every time. Every time.
But you got to understand the topics that you're talking about now, like what you're saying right now, is things that I'm saying that we have to have, that we need to meet and talk about and find out, are there solutions?
When the next meeting? I'll be here.
We're going to get with Chief and we're going to get with the PAC. Get with PAC. I think it'd be a great thing if Chief or even me and Chief or whoever can go to NAACP.
You can't get it out, can you?
Huh?
Slow down.
NAACP and not, and not feel like that people are worried that we're spying on you. It's not the case.
Okay, so all those funding, I heard y'all talk about all these buildings. Why not get, instead of tearing those hotels down, why not purchase those hotels and for those people that have felons to let them rent out 1 bedrooms?
That would be, the city is not in the business of hotels. It would have to be somebody. We don't do those kind of things. We don't own grocery stores, hotels, gas stations. We have to get a developer. When they're gone,
the hotel's gone, so you're buying the building back to make those houses for those people that's available. So we already know they have felons that's put them in their house.
We're doing a lot of that, not hotels, but we're doing a lot of that with LCRA. We're tearing down dilapidated houses that are condemned. We're trying to get new developers to come in and put new houses. We got one that's looking at maybe doing some in the future. I can't go much into it because he hadn't made a decision yet. And it's all in the Sunset Edition.
Okay, because I'm tired of seeing the same restaurants.
It's like y'all is doing a lot, but the requirements is just harder. That's the main point, I think. It's just hard to get in them. A lot is being redone, but the more that's being redone, the harder it is to get access to. Even with the shelter, now they got the shelter set up where you gotta be in at a certain time. You gotta wake up. You can't be a felon. Yeah, and people, we can't control sometimes. You can be walking late, jaywalking or something, and get arrested or something. You can go to jail. Anybody got so many stories. It's just hard for people who ain't got it to get anything, even to live in a shelter. That's crazy though.
Is there any other comments from anybody else? Appreciate your comments, I do. Yeah, go ahead.
That's cool.
No, go ahead.
I'ma just.
Why my comment not important?
He said it was, but he just said
Another one.
he's out of us.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Y'all been going
Do you have something to say?
Not really.
Yep, we gone.
Are there any other comments?
This is where your voice at. You have to speak, and if we don't speak, then they don't know. So if you have anything to say, please say. Ain't nothing too dumb, ain't nothing too shallow, but please be open and speak how you feel.
It's just
no,
Sikeston as a
they don't
whole.
hear, they don't know.
Man. Like, a lot of stuff needs to stop, man. But specifically with the community and the felon situation, you know, like she just said here, it'd be best if y'all just get out more and involve yourself with the community.
How about this? A lot of things need to stop, but a lot of things need to start. I think the stopping is one part that it's enforcement, but to start, that's what Chief's been a big part of, is to stop crime and doing that to be proactive, and that's what we need to be. We need to be proactive and go forward from this.
All right, Jay, you want to play double dutch? You want to learn how?
And I'm gonna Greg on the spades.
I'm not playing spades.
Come on, John.
Anyway, is there any other comments?
I can't. Might even have. I can't get up there.
I feel you.
On the back end of that, why we gotta do something to bring y'all out? Why don't y'all do a little something to try to bring us out? And then also, on the back end of you feeling uncomfortable at the NAACP meetings and stuff.
Well, it's not that I felt uncomfortable.
Or
They
you
had asked,
felt like,
they specifically stated, why am I there?
okay, so why you ain't just say, I want to help y'all? I'm here for y'all.
Well, you know I said that.
Well,
I mean,
I will speak, like, that was a part of the PAC mission, was we actually drove the togetherness with the communities. We didn't just go out to NAACP, we went to the 573 empowerment, they did something, the Return to Sunset, we popped out there, like, we spent an entire time, like that whole season, just over there trying to introduce ourselves. And it got to a point of we were out there so much that even though we were wearing the shirts and we were out there introducing ourselves, we weren't doing anything. So nobody remembered us.
Yeah,
and we ran into the.
But Tara, I have to I don't think the issue is about money. I just don't think that's the issue.
Yeah,
because we had the pack, and like you said, me, him, and Glenn, last people. I stopped doing that, and I went to NAACP. That was the way I was going to engage the community then, and I was there for, I don't know, over 3 years, something like that.
But did you have that on, or you?
But he should be able to still
I was there. It's Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. I'm in a t-shirt, drinking a cup of coffee with a baseball cap on.
Right. And
I ain't putting this on Saturday.
I feel like just the idea of the police and the way some of the community like traumatized and trapped with it, they feel like something bad will come behind it anyway, but that's more personal, and that is on our end when it comes to judging. If he come out and do it, we can't worry about who's coming out. It's just who's coming out and what we got to work with. If the officers that don't, I mean, he did his part. If he did do it, you know what I'm saying?
But I want to say something that hasn't been said. We are always taking applications. We are always wanting to get.
But you can't. It's just something you just can't do.
You see, I said that. You see how people respond.
But,
you know what I mean?
I heard some of your former police officers say y'all have certain type of rules that they had to follow, and if they didn't follow it, they just left.
We have policies and procedures, absolutely.
But it's a different situation, so we can talk about that. Like to instead of in front of everybody, but
I'm not afraid to talk about it.
Okay, well they basically feel like y'all misconduct that y'all did under the table and hiding up, taking up for your children when they get in trouble and throwing, doing everything to cover yourselves, and we have to pay the price for it. So they feel like if they didn't do what y'all told them to do, they was gonna get in trouble for it, or they had to take the rap or the fall for somebody. So that's why they left the police job.
I'll tell you a story that happened one time. I had a young black lady who was from Sikeston. She applied for us, and then she called me at the very end, and she says, I can't do it. And I said, why not? She said, because my family said I would be a traitor to go work for Sikeston DPS. And I said, girl, let me tell you something. If you're going to come here, you work for us, you make a difference in your own community. I said, now, if you go to wherever she went, city down south, went Charleston. I said, don't think you're not going to run into that same criticism, because you are the police. You will run into that. And you know I'm right about that.
I know.
Yeah.
You know, so, and that is part of the issue, that we cannot get applicants from the black community for whatever reason. Y'all know the reason probably better than I do.
But even if you can't get applicants, my thing is, like I said, it's some of y'all are good. Some people can trust y'all, but it's some that has a nasty attitude and they feel like they use their power.
But why is the black community talking people out of applying?
I don't talk about nothing. That's their job. They
No,
get your
they're
money.
doing it
Someone gonna stop you
because
from
they
getting your
don't.
coins.
It's like even the kids, like my son. I have to redirect the parents. You have to talk to your kids because they feel it. They don't know what to think. My son has been with me when I went to jail. He didn't saw me be arrested. He don't like the police. I have to tell him, baby,
But that is
explain.
that is a solution. And
Right.
you're inside a department. You see what happens there. You know. You ain't got to hear it through
It don't even
social
gotta
media.
be inside. It could be
You know.
outside. I was outside.
Are there any more? Anyone else?
That already, Greg.
You didn't say that. Y'all rude. That's not how you.
Hey, Red. See you soon. Are there any other items to be brought from the council? Chair would accept the motion to adjourn into executive.
Second.
What?
Yeah, that's all.
Executive session.
Also for personnel.
Just made a motion.
I didn't hear who made the motion. Who made the motion?
David made the motion and Tom seconded or.
I did.
Hey, David, let the minutes reflect that it was both cybersecurity and personnel justification.